People First podcast is a show presented by the people with learning disabilities for our friends and a community. We will talk about issues that are important to us and interview interesting guests to find out new information. This is our way to make a difference.
Hello and welcome to People First podcast. Today we have Mike from Playing for Kicks. We would like to talk about your career and your music. We hope you enjoy our show.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me on. I'm really pleased to be here. I've always enjoyed all the contact I've had with People First.
How long have you been playing as a band, and how did the band first start?
Oh, thank you. The band, actually, my connection with People First started just before Playing for Kicks started. Those of you who were around long enough, I was in a community band with a few friends that were through our good friend Joe Ingham, who some of you at People First may remember. We got involved in your summer ball in 2009 at the Big Soup. So any people who've been around long enough may remember that. And that wasn't Playing for Kicks, that was a sort of previous band. And then by the following year, when we were invited to your summer ball, Playing for Kicks had started, which included myself and Dave, who you may remember, who played guitar a lot of the times with us. The band just sort of fell together from people wanting to play, and fortunately we all had the same kind of ideas of, we're not in it to make money. We're not out to do anything to try and break barriers for ourselves to get any success in that sense. But we really want people to enjoy what we're doing. And from the very first time we played with People First, we've just loved that, you seem to like us. We love you guys. So it seems to work really well for us.
What sort of music do you play?
Well, we've prided ourselves on playing music from all sorts of styles and genres. I think the oldest songs we've played were from the late 1950s. We've played Buddy Holly songs. We've played songs from the last 5 or 10 years as well. And we've touched on, depending on who's in the band at different times, we've played a bit more rocky or a bit more poppy. We're fairly poppy at the moment. There's quite a lot of songs from the 70s, 80s and 90s, all chart things, they were all hits at some time. And we try to play mainly kind of upbeat songs that people might dance to, or people can tap the toes to, or click the fingers, or sing along. And we do like songs with a good chorus that people can join in on.
I'd just like to say that I like all those cover hits you cover at our parties, like the Madness ones and all that sort of stuff you play, because I think it really fits in. It's music that we like as well, and it's a good atmosphere.
Well, thank you very much. That is what we aim for, and we aim to play the songs that people enjoy listening to, who aren't out necessarily watching live bands all the time as well. And things like the Madness songs are always, that's fun to play. We've done a couple of different Madness songs in our time, and it's good to hear that you feel the same as we want you to feel, in that you're enjoying the mixture of songs we play, and that they're all nice, good time, up-tempo songs.
Thank you very much. It's fun to have you, Mike. It really is. And we hope you to come. We'd like you to come back to our summer ball.
Well, we are booked to play your summer ball, and we're booked to play your Halloween ball, and we're also booked to play your Christmas party. So
Oh, it'll
Right.
come round quick.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, it will.
Could you tell us about some of your favourite gigs?
Ooh, some of my favourite gigs. Well, I guess there's two questions there. There's favourite gigs I've played and favourite gigs I've been to, perhaps. I always enjoy the parties at Caroline Street. Without being specific, I mean, Halloween's always fun because of the costumes. And it's a lovely size of room. And on a selfish perspective, it's a really nice stage. There's a good space for us. We really enjoy it. And you guys just give such good feedback. Whether it's at different times over the years, we've had some of you conducting us, playing your inflatable guitars with us, to the point that we even, of course, get David up on stage to play guitar every time. And we had Bex singing Madness songs with us at times, and Adrian's played tambourine on stage with us. So it's always great because you always get involved, and we love to get you involved, and it's always good fun. I was fortunate enough in terms of concerts that I've been to, gigs I've been to see Queen in their final tour in '86 at Wembley Stadium, and that was probably the most special gig I've ever been to.
Freddie Mercury.
He was brilliant.
He was. His voice was just so distinctive. You could have heard it a mile away.
Absolutely. And on stage, whereas the support acts on the night on a stadium tour, they looked like bands a long way away. Somehow, Freddie Mercury filled the stage and made it feel like you were really close, even though you were a long way back in the stadium. He was brilliant.
It was. I never see him, but I can picture him very well, almost giant-like.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, that's a good description. That's just like how he was, yeah.
What is your favourite song to play, and what is your least favourite?
I know that's an interesting question. Because over the years, playing for Kicks started in 2010. So that's over 13 years we've been going. We've played, although we only ever play about at the most 30 songs in any one gig. We've played 150 different songs in that time. The songs that we really don't like much don't tend to stay in very long. So you may not have heard them. We try them, they just don't work with us. And so they get dropped. So I wouldn't want to name check songs particularly because we try not to keep them around. In terms of songs I've enjoyed most, I always enjoyed Stuck in the Middle with You. That's always good fun to play. We dropped that. We dropped that a couple of years ago because we'd played it over 100 times and it was perhaps time to try some other songs. But it's the sort of song that I could see us bringing back sometime.
Mike, do you know of any other bands who have members with learning disabilities?
That's a good question. Personally, I'd have to say no. I am aware that through, I believe, Storm, School of Rock Music in Bradford, I believe they have at least one band that is made up of members with learning disabilities. But I've never seen them play, I'm afraid, so I can't say how they do.
Well, thank you very much. And I've heard about Storm as well. It's meant to be a really good place, but I've never, ever been.
We interviewed one a while back called Ultimate Thunder. And we've got one of the podcasts up with them, actually, of the band members that had learning disabilities.
I think it would be great one of the People First or All Inc. Events if we could manage to get a band like that as well, or instead of us, or as well as us. I think it would be great to get them up on your stage.
How did you first get involved with People First Keighley Craven parties?
Well, I was friends with Joe Ingham, who used to be one of your staff some time ago, and just after our first musical event had happened, we'd just done a sort of street event before playing for Kicks, and we were just sat around having a chat, and Joe was talking about you had your summer ball coming up, and you were going to have a DJ, I think it was, at the Big Soup, as that was planned in 2009. And we were just discussing, and Joe just thought, oh, that might be an interesting idea to have a live music there. And so she, I think, checked around with the committee, and it was agreed that would be a nice idea. So that was our first experience, was coming to the Summer Ball in 2009. But at that time, that was, I mean, there were 6 of us, but it was only Dave and I who went on to be in Playing for Kicks. And fortunately, we obviously did okay, made enough connections that by the time 2010 Summer Ball came round, Playing for Kicks, which had got properly going, was invited to play. And that was up at Branshaw Golf Club. And I do remember that. It was one of the first half a dozen gigs that Playing for Kicks ever played. So our history is very tightly tied in with yours, with you guys. There's not been a year, I don't think, that we haven't played at least one gig for you. And really probably since about 2016, we've played most of your parties, I think.
What do you do outside of playing with a band?
I mean, all of us in the band, of course, have got day jobs. The band is our hobby. So I mean, I work. I'm sat where I work. I work from home on the computer all the time. And apart from that, spending time with my family, and then 3 of us in the band also run an open mic night in Idle in Bradford once a month, which is great fun. But it means that with at least one rehearsal every week for Playing for Kicks, and then an open mic night and practicing songs for both of those, that takes up a lot of my outside work time, apart from the time that I spend with my family, of which I think my daughter Macy volunteered with you for a little while. So most of you have met her, I think.
When did you personally start playing music, and why did you start?
That's a good question. I had a couple of friends when I was about 19. We used to go camping and things like that a lot, and we just thought that it'd be nice to play as well. So the 3 of us picked up acoustic guitars around the same time. And we all learned at different speeds, and we went busking. And so I ended up spending my musical time in my 20s was probably spent more busking folk style songs with one good friend of mine who fortunately I still sing with occasionally. And then I went a bit quiet on my 30s while I was raising my young children, and then I only really got going with music properly, if you like, in a performative way, in my 40s when Playing for Kicks got going. So although I've been playing for a long time, in terms of performing, it probably only is since I was in my 40s.
Well, so we've got the last 2. So you've got, what is your favourite part of being?
What is your favourite part in being in Playing for Kicks?
Oh, now that's an interesting question as well, because of course I love playing music, and so rehearsals are great fun, but there's nothing quite like that feeling when you manage to connect with an audience. I can only imagine what it's like to be some big star with fans, but when you manage to get people dancing or singing along, and you can see that they're enjoying themselves, it just really makes me feel fantastic. And so at the end of one of those gigs, I'm usually buzzing, and it takes quite a while to calm down, actually.
It's the same being in the audience. It takes a while for us to calm down, me to calm down, because we've all enjoyed it so much. But I want to raise an example here. How do you travel? No. Is it how do you travel around?
Well, because we have a lot of gear to carry, we all drive. There's mainly Jonathan, who you'll know on the keyboards mainly, who brings the drums and the keyboards, and I bring most of the rest of the gear. So we all have our big cars, unfortunately big cars. So that's the main way we travel around. We mainly play in sort of the Bradford, Keighley area anyway. So it's not like we have too far to go.
Okay, thank you. My last question is, if people out there want to book Playing for Kicks, meaning you all, how do they do it?
Well, you'll find our website, which is www.playingforkicks.co.uk.
I have been on that. I have looked that up, by the way.
Excellent. And that just has some brief information about us and a few photos and contact details on there. It has my phone number on there. Or we have a Facebook page, which you should be able to find fairly easily on Facebook as Playing for Kicks. And if you follow us on there, then when we're doing public gigs and things, we will advertise them. We do a number of private parties that we don't advertise, but the public ones. And you can contact us through the Facebook page as well, and we'll try to get back to you.
I'm on Facebook, so I'll ask later. I'll ask Adam later if it's okay to follow them. Follow you all, and then I can keep updated.
That would be great. Yes, yeah. Anyone's welcome to follow us.
Yeah, I'm already following you guys.
Yeah, I know Tom is. I know, because he organises. I know Tom organises. If it wouldn't be for him and everyone, we wouldn't have such wonderful parties, and it's a great privilege to have them.
Well, I have to say, just on Tom, I think Tom's done a fantastic job of stepping into to Big Jeff's shoes as the DJ at the parties.
DJ Chili Tea, we call him. And he likes it. He really does.
Got that name because I'm into my chilies. Hotter the better.
Oh.
Excellent.
Yeah, yes, excellent.
That's all we have time for today. Thank you, Mike, for coming to talk to us. Please like, share to help us grow, and you can search us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you for listening, and we will see you next time.
Well, if I could just say thank you very much for inviting me again. I think this podcast's great. I've been listening to the last few since I was first made aware of it, probably at Valentine's Ball. And they're really good, really useful. I'm very, very proud to have been invited on, and I think you're doing a great thing by making this podcast.
Please like, share, follow the show, Bitbooks, Instagram, and Twitter. For us, this is for People First Podcast. Thank you for listening.